So more on this idea of him possibly being a part of this whole conspiracy and him being a trickster. We see the Saturn there is the only planet that's retrograde, I believe. Pluto will be here, squaring that Saturn. And the ruler of the sign that Saturn is in is Taurus, is Venus. Venus rules Taurus. We come back to Venus here, and it's conjunct Jupiter. It's conjunct Jupiter, and it's also in what's known as a gibbous phase. So here we have the opposition, Mercury, and that would be like a full moon. So Mercury is in a full position to Saturn. And then if we come around here, Jupiter and Venus are moving towards a full, and they're in a gibbous, which is like a Virgo in conjunct. What does that mean? Well, there's something to do with discretion and Mercury, adjustments, discrimination, thinking with these planets. And as I said, Saturn here, that Pluto is going to make a square to, and the ruler being Venus, conjunct Jupiter in Libra. And it's in Libra, and it's in the Gemini decan, that third decan there, the Gemini decan. That is the sign of the trickster. So when Pluto makes this transit and we look at the ruler, it's conjunct Jupiter. That's a very fortunate conjunction. So we think, well, is this guy making money off of this? Through his thinking, you see there's air signs involved, there's Virgo involved, which is ruled by Mercury. Saturn is exalted in Libra, Venus is involved, money, Jupiter, good fortune. And that's also making a in conjunct to the North Node as well, pretty close. Back to that idea, where he's headed towards his life path. So that gives me more indication that this is a setup that will benefit him in some way. You can also see that Mars is squaring that. So Mars is involved too, where Pluto recently transited. Is squaring that Venus and Venus and Jupiter. When we think of this guy, well, if you want to look at more indicators of status and money, let's take a look at that. So we can see Scorpio, obviously, 1, 2, 3 planets in Scorpio. That's a money sign. He's got the planet of money conjunct Jupiter in a sign that it rules, Libra. He's got Saturn in Taurus, ruled by Venus. Again, another money sign. He's got Mars in Capricorn, in a sign that it's exalted in, that we think of Mars in Capricorn as someone who cares about status, who cares about public image, someone who's popular, someone who's a leader, someone who people see as at the top. So we're seeing lots of money indications and some status, some indication of status as well. And then we have, and we also have Uranus there in Libra too. And then we come here to the South Node. And what's on the South Node? Pluto. Pluto rules Scorpio. So he has a planet on his South Node that has to do with power and money as well. You could even look at Neptune, the North Node ruled by the North Node in Pisces, ruled by Neptune here in a water sign, back in Scorpio, and the North Node is in a finance sign, the sign that is ruled by Jupiter in Pisces, finance, banking, etc. And if we wanted to contrast that with signs that don't have to do with money, the only thing you really see is maybe the moon that is in Virgo, you could think of that as being someone he might be using his discriminatory powers, his ability to analyze, to make money, etc. But even that, the ruler is Mercury, and it comes back to Scorpio. Mercury's in Scorpio there. So no question this guy is about power and money. That's more, I just gave you more evidence there that this could easily be a setup. I wish I had the houses. If we want to see, is there any indication he's going to go to jail? This would be better to do after this all went down, but if you were looking at this now, you could say the 12th house in Pisces is jail, is like hospitals, jails, prisons. So when Saturn goes over that north node, yeah, I mean, that's a possible indicator that, Saturn being the government, crushing his dreams, putting him in jail, the ruler Neptune,